name's Sheila Fitzgerald. I'm Christy's favorite aunt. That's her dad and mom, and that's her brother John, who also served in the U.S. Air Force, fighting the Soviets during the Cold War. And this is my dad, Jack Fitzgerald, who served in World War II. I teach AP US History, and I teach a class called World at War, which I think is real similar to what you guys are doing, so I know this is the cool class to teach. And I teach outside of Minneapolis, and I've been doing this, I've been teaching for 29 years. My dad and I have been doing this presentation for 25. We started in the 90s when there were no such things as smart boards and PowerPoints, and now we've got lots of good visuals, and we've got an agenda, and he's going to go pretty quickly. So if we have time at the end, maybe a couple questions. Otherwise, maybe we're hoping that maybe we'll come back in spring and do a larger presentation a little bit longer. When I was in high school, I never asked my dad to come speak because he's just my dad. I knew he had cool stories, and I was interested in history because of him, but everybody's dad, my age, was in World War II. The war was so huge, everybody was part of it. So in the 1990s, and when it was the 50th anniversary of the end of World War II, a journalist wrote a book called The Greatest Generation. He started interviewing the men and women because their stories were going to go with them. So he wanted to honor them, and thus the phrase Greatest Generation came about, to describe the men and women of my dad's generation who laid their lives down and saved the world from the Nazis and from the Japanese. And I'm real proud of my dad that not only did he serve his country as a veteran, he also was a great teacher for 44 years, and he also continues to serve his country by volunteering and honoring veterans at their final service, at their funeral. He plays taps, and he will also play today at the ceremony. Sir, how many funerals have you played for?
About 2,500.
2,500 funerals, and that's a terrific act and very unselfish. So I'm going to get out of the way and let Dad talk. Please give him a team clap. Everybody clap together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Take it away, sir.
All right, we'll start with democracy. This hat goes with that uniform. That's called dress blues. When you went off the ship, you wore that. I'm wearing what we wore on the ship, dungarees, and the white hat we used there. So raise your hand after I've shown you both which one you like best. How many like this one? I'll throw it back there too. This one. Yep, that's it. Okay. Well, we have to go back to these, well, in the 30s, anybody who listened to the radio and bought a newspaper knew that it was inevitable we would have to get in the war. England, Russia, and us, that's all that was left. The Japanese were taking over Asia, the Nazis had Europe, and it looked like there was no question we were going to get into it. And in
on December 8th.
On December 8th, I was at East De Pere High School. We had an assembly right away in the morning. And there was a radio on the stage, lit, and we heard Roosevelt say, December 7th, a day that will live in infamy. And all my buddies, everybody, we wanted to fight. There was no question. There was questions about Korea, about Vietnam, other wars. There was no question about World War II. We wanted to get in it, and we had to. So that's Pearl Harbor, sinking battleships. We were lucky. The carriers were all at sea because early in the war, the Japanese sunk 2 British battleships, the Repulse and the Prince of Wales, off of Singapore. 50 planes sunk them in about an hour. That was the end of the battleship. From now on, the carrier was the ship. The battleships just accompanied us to try to help shoot down suicide planes. Okay, that's...
So, on December 8th, what do you do at your school? On December 8th, what did you do at your school?
Well, we met and we had this assembly.
Did he say this right now? I don't think he said it.
What, did it motivate you to do anything different? You personally, or your friends? What did you and your buddies want to do after this? Just go back to class?
We wanted to fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I said that.
Oh, I'm not sure.
This is the joy of having done this 25 times, and now you're the third class.
There was no question. All my buddies, all my friends, we wanted to get in the war as soon as we could. Okay, so.
And which branch of service are you excited to join?
I don't swim, but I knew they had life jackets. I love ships, and I loved airplanes even more. My ambition was to get on an aircraft carrier. in a ship's band. All the major ships had 21-piece bands. I was a very good trumpet player. I didn't want to die in a foxhole, and I knew they had life jackets in case the ship sunk. So that was my choice. However, I had a problem. I'm colorblind, and I can't see very much.